Hello everyone, welcome to the video from the Demon Overlord, and it is 2021, and this is the first video of the new year I decided to throw out there. Now, this video is part of a long series that will be ongoing, and this was because someone reached out to me and asked a good question. Will you ever do any reviews on terrain that you find good for DM of any sort? And I thought about that question and go, fair question, good point. It is the new year. Why not try something different on the channel, something a little different? So today I'm going to choose a specific piece at a time. Today I'm going over a company called Miniature Market, or Tiny Terrain, purchasable by Miniature Market. Sorry for that frop up. Now, is it only available on Miniature Market? I don't know. I only buy it through Miniature Market, so I don't know if you can buy them at any other stores or anything else. Plus, this gives me a reason to break out my new turntable here, which I really look forward to kind of getting around to using it. Okay. What are you going? Clockwise? Awesome. So first off here, we're going to start with a nice piece that I think would be great for your terrains. And these are going to be land pieces. Now here we have a campfire, an embankment, or like a cart park area where you park your carts, and then a little more serious battle embankment. Now these are part of like the terrain little, I don't know, they actually have like A, B's, and C's, like their campsites. And I think weirdly enough, I don't know why these two are considered, I think these were, I think they were battlement emplacements, and then this one was from the campfire set. I did look at all the other ones, and these are just the three I chose to go with my first time. So as you can see, they look pretty good. They have nice detail in them. Now these are all resin pieces, as you can see on the bottoms here. We do have some bubblage going on there and some little bits of a break in the resin, but it is clear bottom. So I'm assuming that these are resin poured, not your resin from a printer, but the resin like you would actually pour into a mold and later pop it out once it's dried and cured after maybe sitting in a pressure pot. I don't think they use a pressure pot, as this wouldn't be on the bottom if you actually used a proper pressure pot. So I don't know who makes this stuff. Like I said, I don't know if it's a company or if it's a person, but they are cheap, guys. These are really great terrain pieces. I got each of these for literally like $1.15 a piece. So that's literally cheap as heck. Like they were just out of the cart, and I needed more just to make it so I could get the free shipping from Miniature Market, or I would just say heck with it and get whatever I get. I mean, at that point, I think I literally was looking for terrain that day. So here we got some good pieces. Let's get some minis on here for comparison, shall we? Here's a little apprentice here. We'll put him inside the embattlement like he's casting spells from there. And I mean, yeah, the logs and stuff are a little small. I think these are made more for vehicle size stuff and maybe a different size war game. But if you put him on the fire pit, it works a little nicer. He is, as you see, he does like to slide because of the terrain. If you want to boost it up and bolster it, I might actually put some flocking on there to make it a little thicker and more even. But as you can see, he'll eventually sit there, and he looks pretty good. It's just a big fire. It's not your small little campfire, which if we pull out a Litco fire here and put it next to it, you know, not all that bigger, and then you put like a little small campfire, and you can see those are very tiny. So this is a big fire. Now, I chose to paint mine with more of a reddened coals, like as if it's the fire, but maybe it's like a little dying down. And it comes with a nice little stack of wood there. Now, I literally used just Army Painter on some of it, and that was more like the orange and stuff in there because I didn't have like cheap apple paint for that. But I did have apple paint for the greens and the browns. And as you can see, they look nice. Now, fair warning, these will get chipped over time and they will lose paint. Now, what I meant by that is they will lose paint on the bigger pieces over time. I haven't really got much paint loss from these smaller pieces. Now we're getting on the smaller stuff. So smaller stuff here, we actually have this nice, lovely little rock wall they have built, and as you can see, it does offer technically at least like half cover to miniatures. And I put my bowcaster and spell guy here as if they were casting spells from out from behind it. We've got a lovely brazier, and this was just something I painted. I mean, I even gave it like a little blue flame with a little yellowish coals just to make it unique. I'll have my precognitive mage like he's almost doing spells into it or using it for casting. And then we have a lovely crystal. Now the crystal is a clear, I think, more epoxy resin. Now this is literally something you could build if you had a mold. You could pour that into it yourself. You could even make these things into molds and copy them. Now, I obviously don't recommend doing that because, you know, it's not cool to copy someone else's product, and I got this because I saw this in someone else's video that he doesn't do that. And I would definitely should say the same thing. Like, I wouldn't recommend doing it because it's, you know, uncool these people who built this brand or whatever it is and built it up. Anyway, do I recommend this for any D&D campaign? Now, going down what I've done with this stuff, yeah, I definitely would recommend it. Look at this stuff. It looks nice quality. It's in scale with your miniatures mostly. Most of these like little like scatter pieces are easily in place. They're not expensive. They take a little bit of work. And I definitely, oh, and I do want to say, guys, do clean these things. I know a lot of people like to paint their minis and stuff fresh out of the box. Don't. You really want to scrub these things down with what, in my opinion, works best, Dawn soap and a toothbrush. And then warm water, and you will clean them perfectly to take paint. This one I did not paint because it came looking like this, and I decided to leave it as a nice, lovely crystal. And they have that in different colors. It comes in a purple, green, red, yellow, blue, and I even think it comes in a black crystal now. I'm not remembering if that was on there, but like I've just heard like there's bubbles on the inside and stuff occasionally, and that's why people aren't a big fan. Mine came out pretty good. I mean, on the bottom too, it came pretty clear. Like you don't see like any big bubbles inside there. So this came as a good solid piece. Mine was positively great experience. The brazier here was a lovely little piece. As you can see, they are nice and clear. These ones, I don't know if they put them in a pressure pot because as you can see, these guys on the bottom are nice and clean pieces across. They don't have many of those bubbles. So I think these might get pressure potted or they have a better way of doing it. Now, we're going to move on to the next bit of the terrain I actually have. So we're going to take these away quick. And voila. Here we have one of the nicest pieces I found in there one day when I was on Miniature Market. And I had to at least grab like 5 of these bad boys because I wanted some different colors. And they're hedrons. That's right. These are the hedrons from Magic the Gathering. If you look at them anyway, yeah, that's what they got to be. They have to be inspired by that. And I have to love they made these things. These things were $1 something a piece. So same as those big pieces back here and some of these other pieces are like $1 a piece or 50 cents, you know. But they were definitely worth it because look how lovely they are done. Now, these were fun to paint because you have to be very careful with the edging. That's just me because I'm a little bit OCD when I'm painting. I get that whole like slow-mo painting to make sure I get those details just right. And I love how they look. I've got different ones. I got like a nice forest style. Maybe this is like a good fire. We've got like a nice ice hedron. We have a like, I don't know, desert hedron or maybe some type of wind hedron maybe because it's yellow. And then we got a purple hedron there to maybe represent like Underdark or like Eldritch power or mental powers, you know, like mind powers, because that's why the mages are, you know, looking at the stones and everyone's like, oh, hedrons. And this would be a nice way to incorporate, say, Ravnica, which one of those minis is from that series, into your Dungeons & Dragons campaigns, and you have something to act as like adhesive pieces. And this could also be something you could also throw in for story flavor, like I did in season 2 of our podcast for the Dice and Dummies. Do check us out, guys. We're hoping to start season 3 soon. Let's get on to the last pieces I have for reviewing into this before my final like declaration on these pieces. Okay, so next up here we have the longboats. Now these, I don't know if they're legit the proper definition, but these are really nice boats. Very simple, very nice pieces, and I'm going to grab this one here for a look. As you can see how the miniatures look in there, they look great. They fit fine. You can fit a whole party of 5 and maybe a party of 4 if you want to have a Roman, or you could probably fit a little bit more. I mean, there's still some more space there. Now, it's not exactly designed for the millimeterage of D&D or even the Reaper base, but they will sit in there if you just set them carefully. Now, if we look at the boat here, it is not bad. This one's a lighter inside I did. It actually does have a little bay door there to go down inside. So there is a level underneath here for storage. You actually have a nice rafter set. So if you wanted to build a rafter to put in there and make yourself a sail, you could. Another little door here. Sorry, actually that's the bay door. The other one's the, I'm guessing it's a little ladder up. Which, I mean, that size bit, you could step over that. But anyway, I mean, bottom-wise, these are very clean on the bottom, though. I had a little water layer. I added a little blue. And as you can see, though, they look nice for boats next to the group. Like, if you put them in the water like that, they would easily work and definitely be good enough to at least be good for your group to cross, I don't know, let's say small seas, maybe lakes and ponds, even down rivers. And here's a Reaper Bones boat for comparison. Now, if any of you have seen the Reaper boat, I think I reviewed that in an older video in an order. And as you can see, it's kind of dwarfed. It's pretty small next to this stuff. You might get maybe 1 to 2 minis in there at best and 1 tiny creature maybe. But in this boat, you're definitely getting a whole party. So I definitely recommend it because there's not a lot of small boats that aren't giant boats like the giant Reaper Bones skeleton boat, which I've also reviewed that as well in an older video. So check that out, guys, if you want. And I mean, you know, this is, like I said, guys, one of a series I'm going with. So there will be more in the future. However many more depends on how much of this terrain I keep deciding to review. So, tiny terrain, guys. Do I recommend it for your group? If you're looking for boats and stuff like that and some nice scatter pieces that will be in scale, your miniatures are at least good enough scale where you won't have a problem with it, I would say yes. Do I recommend being careful with this big stuff because it will chip over time, just occasionally knocking into other products? Yeah, it will do that. I mean, honestly, I give this like about a 4 out of 5 stars. Do I wish they were easier to paint? Yes. Price point, though, is really good. The price on these things is really good. They don't go overboard because they go, oh, everyone needs boats and everyone needs, like, braziers. Let's make them expensive. They're nice, good, cheap price. but these are probably, kind of cheaply made things. The smaller pieces to me are a little more solid because I dropped these and they have not broken. Now, I'm not saying go off and throw it at the floor and break it, but these bigger ones I'm a little bit more iffy with. So Fragile, they're durable enough that you would use for any other table-topping stuff or wargaming. And that's a great thing. They could work with other war games too. So greatly versatile, great price, good product quality, and a little bit difficult to paint being one of the downsides. And honestly, guys, easily available. I've never seen times where they're out of stock on Miniature Market. So if you want to get them there, that's where I get them from. And that's all I got for you today, guys. As usual, check our podcast, The Dice Dummies. We're starting season 3 here soon on live stream. We're hoping to get that around coming out pretty soon. Check us out there, guys. And please do like and subscribe. Helps keep my channel going, guys. Have a great one and stay safe out there, guys. Bye-bye. And stay tuned for the next ones.